Tonight, our new reporting on the chaos at Newark Airport and the frightening equipment failures that could be putting airplanes at risk. Delays running up to 4 hours today as we learn new details on just how often radio and radar went out for air traffic controllers. Our Tom Costello speaks with a controller who's lived through it, what they reveal about how dangerous the situation is. Also breaking, the world on edge as India launches missiles into Pakistan, a major escalation in the standoff between the two nuclear powers. Oval Office showdown between President Trump and Canada's new prime minister. What each said while sitting side by side about Canada becoming the 51st state. Road rage manhunt, the minivan caught on camera slamming into a motorcycle, how police tracked down that driver. Out on bail, the man accused of attempting to kidnap a child at a Walmart released on bail as protesters proclaim his innocence. What our reporting revealed about what may have really happened that day. And rescued at sea, how Good Samaritans saved these men stranded off the coast of Cape Cod. Plus, the man arrested at Jennifer Aniston's house, what he posted about her on social media before that incident. Top Story starts right now. Good evening, I'm Ellison Barber in for Tom Llamas. We're coming on the air tonight with the unrelenting travel disruptions at one of the country's biggest airports. And now, 1 week after Newark airspace controllers reported losing both radios and radars for anywhere from 45 to 90 seconds, a current veteran controller claims it was not the first time, saying, quote, time seemed to stand still as they lost all contact with the passenger planes flying through the busy region. Today, the perfect storm at Newark. Staffing shortages, equipment failure, and construction issues causing hundreds of delays and cancellations in and out of that airport. But in other parts of the country, it's the weather causing delays. Storms firing up in Texas. Video showing College Station inundated as drivers work to navigate the intense flash floods there and widespread destruction in Jewett, Texas, after a possible tornado touched down. And that's why Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport is dealing with mounting delays and cancellations, with New York's LaGuardia Airport and Newark Airport right behind. Plus, new video just in showing emergency crews inspecting a United jet after planes clipped wings while taxiing on the tarmac at San Francisco Airport. We're told no one was injured there. We are tracking it all tonight, starting with NBC's Tom Costello, and that scare at Newark Airport.
Tonight, a current veteran Newark controller tells NBC News last Monday was not the first time they went dark, saying it's probably the third time since last August that we lost both radar and radios at once. But we've lost radios about 8 to 9 times. Last Monday, other facilities warned pilots.
3 of the 4 radar screens went black, and they have no frequencies.
The Newark airspace controller talking to NBC News says it lasted for 45 seconds, telling us we went to backup radios. That didn't work. Nothing worked. It was a scary moment. These planes with people with lives in them are flying, and no one is talking to them. They were flying in the dark. It was like a cone of silence. While the Newark Tower controls the runways, the airspace above the tower, up to 10,000 feet, is controlled by the Newark TRACON. To address controller shortages, last year the FAA moved those TRACON controllers to a consolidated facility in Philadelphia. But the data feeds have proven unreliable.
And they want you to be advised that they may not be able to radar contact you because of the radar issues.
Citing intense stress from the loss of comms, 5 Newark controllers reportedly left, seeking short-term disability.
The controllers said they're traumatized, and they're not on duty right now. I want to make sure that my controllers are of good mind and good spirit when they come in. It's an intense job.
Again today, flights leaving for Newark were delayed more than 4 hours. The airport and FAA blame equipment failures, runway construction, weather, and a shortage of controllers. But bringing in controllers from other facilities is not a fast option. Certified controllers would need additional training, sometimes at the academy, before taking over at Newark. The FAA says it takes up to 1.5 years to certify at an ATC facility. But for anyone traveling through Newark, frustration.
This is like 3 extra layers of stress.
The FAA warns it could last for months.
And Tom Costello joins us now from Newark Liberty International. Tom, what more is the FAA saying tonight?
Well, the FAA is really trying to reassure the public that flying is safe. They make the point that they are, in fact, slowing air traffic in and out of Newark. As you know, United has canceled roughly 3 dozen daily flights a day out of here, round-trip flights a day. Also, air traffic control is about to get a huge overhaul. The DOT is going to announce this week plans to overhaul every ATC system nationwide. But that's going to take 3 to 4 years and cost billions of dollars. So here at Newark, there is no quick and short-term fix.
Tom Costello, thank you. We are joined now by Polly Trottenberg. She is the former acting administrator of the FAA. She also served as Deputy Transportation Secretary during the Biden administration. Polly, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Let's start with some of those details in Tom's report, particularly that this is not the first time, apparently, that air traffic controllers went dark at Newark. As someone who was once in charge of making sure Americans fly safely, put this in context for us. How scary of a moment is this in American aviation?
It's clearly a challenging moment in American aviation and speaks to, look, the immediate challenges at Newark. And I know the FAA is working hard there. And look, my heart goes out to the travelers and everyone affected. It's a very challenging situation there. But it also speaks to a much deeper and more long-term challenge that Tom alluded to, which is we have underinvested in this extraordinary air traffic control system, the equipment, the towers, the facilities, and now is the time we really need to renew those investments. So radars are working, communications equipment is working, everything is in good working order so the controllers can do their jobs.
Polly, about a year ago, President Biden signed a reauthorization bill for the FAA, instructing it to eliminate the shortage in air traffic controllers. It has now been a year. The shortage, as we were just discussing, still very much here, still causing problems. Talk to us a little bit about that. Why did it seem that what happened a year ago wasn't enough to sort of put us on a better course to be in a more apt position to handle it all now?
Well, in the last administration, we did add more controllers into the pipeline. But I think, as Tom was reporting, it is a long and complex process to train to be a controller. And you want it to be. You want to make sure those are highly skilled jobs. The men and women who do those jobs are extraordinary public servants. But there's no question we need to find ways to pick up the pace. I know we did some of that in the previous administration. The current administration is doing that as well. I will say at the same time, though, the FAA is losing people in this current administration. Rumors that as many as 1,000 people have left the agency, and that's concerning. That's a lot of expertise and knowledge that's going out the door at a time when I think we need all hands on deck at the agency.
When you think about the problems at Newark, and obviously we touched on how they are existing in other places as well, but for so many people, Newark is becoming a focus. Everybody seems to know about what has been happening there. Is Newark the tip of the iceberg? If we were to pull back and look at Atlanta, look at some other major, even mid-size airports throughout this country, would we see similar issues?
I mean, Newark, I think, has been a uniquely challenging airport for a lot of reasons. The New York airspace is busy and complex. Finding people who have the skill and ability to staff it has been a challenge. But you're correct to say that the whole system needs modernization, and we need to build up those air traffic controller ranks at all our major airports. It's busy and stressful at the airports you mentioned, airports all over our country. And in your perspective, funding is that fix? It's a key piece of it. Funding, personnel, leadership, all those things are going to be needed. It's going to take the FAA, DOT, partners in Congress, industry, labor. It's going to be all hands on deck, as I was saying, I think, to modernize and improve the system and tackle the urgent things that are happening now at Newark. Polly Trottenberg, thank you. Thank you.
And we are tracking breaking news overseas tonight. India launching missiles into Pakistan controlled territory, hitting targets in both Pakistan as well as the disputed Kashmir region. This move, a major escalation between the two nuclear-armed countries, and it comes after a militant attack on tourists in the Indian-controlled portion of Kashmir last month. NBC's chief international correspondent Keir Simmons is tracking this for us and joins us now. Keir, India had warned that this was possible shortly after that attack took place, despite militants claiming responsibility for it in that Kashmir region. The Indian government posting on X a short while ago this message, quote, "Justice is served." Walk us through what happened here. Are these strikes over, and do we expect Pakistan to respond?
Well, Alison, India did warn, but this is a real escalation. It says it has targeted 9 sites, quote, hitting terrorist infrastructure. Tonight we are seeing video of explosions where you can see and hear those missile strikes. Pakistan says 3 areas have been hit and says civilians, including the children, have been killed. We've also tonight been seeing images of chaotic scenes at a Pakistan hospital. As you mentioned, these tensions have soared after that deadly militant attack on tourists on Indian-administered Kashmir last month. That's a place where there's been a long-running, decades-long-running dispute over Kashmir between India and Pakistan. Meanwhile, and this is news that will worry many, tonight Pakistan says it has shot down 2 Indian jets, Alison.
And this obviously something here that the United States would be watching closely. Have we heard anything from President Trump?
We did. It looked as if President Trump was just hearing the news in the White House as cameras were rolling. It is a major test for him tonight. He says, it's a shame. I just hope it ends very quickly. The United Nations, and this is going to the point that you made in the introduction, this is to do with the fact that India and Pakistan are both nuclear-armed powers. The United Nations tonight saying the world cannot afford a conflict between these 2 countries. That is not the kind of language that we're hearing from leaders in India and Pakistan. We're just seeing comments from Pakistan's Prime Minister Sharif. He says, and he's talking about India here, the treacherous enemy has launched a cowardly attack within Pakistan. This heinous act of aggression will not go unpunished. Now, India, on the other hand, is saying that this was a measured response to a terrorist attack. The fear now will be that this will escalate further. And again, the real question here is that these are 2 countries with nuclear capability.
Keir Simmons, thank you. Back here at home, President Trump hosting the newly elected Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney in the Oval Office today. The visit comes after months of tension between the 2 countries over tariffs, border security, and Trump's wish to make Canada the 51st state. NBC's Gabe Gutierrez was in the room for that historic meeting.
Once close allies, now feuding neighbors. Today, President Trump and Canada's new Prime Minister, Mark Carney, met at the White House despite mounting tensions.
Mr. President, you have said that Canada should become the 51st state. Were you joking?
No. Well, I still believe that, but you know, it takes 2 to tango, right? But no, I do. I mean, I believe it would be a massive tax cut for the Canadian citizens.
That's when Carney spoke up.
As you know from real estate, there are some places that are never for sale. And having met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months, it's not for sale, won't be for sale ever.
To which President Trump responded,
"Never say never. Never say never."
Carney was elected amid backlash over the president's tariffs on Canadian products like steel, aluminum, and auto parts.
Regardless of anything, we're going to be friends with Canada.
Still, no signs of any imminent trade deal with Canada to lower tariffs.
We want to make our own cars. We don't really want cars from Canada.
Or with China either.
We don't have to sign deals. They have to sign deals with us. They want a piece of our market. We've been ripped off by everybody for 50 years. And we're just not going to do that anymore.
Mattel, which makes Barbies and Hot Wheels, now says it's considering hiking prices because of tariffs on Chinese imports. Last month, the president said negotiations with China were underway.
We've been meeting with China.
But today, his Treasury Secretary told Congress talks had not started. Can you clarify that?
They want to meet, and they're doing no business right now.
But you haven't met with them yet?
I have not met with them, of course. You would know if I met. I'd tell you.
Instead, the president did tell reporters about a major development out of the Middle East. The Houthis agreeing to stop targeting U.S. vessels. The Iran-backed militia had snarled global trade by attacking ships in the Red Sea for more than a year, saying it was in protest of the war in Gaza. The president announcing in exchange he'll suspend U.S. strikes against the Houthis.
We will stop the bombings, and they have capitulated. But more importantly, we will take their word.
But the Houthis vow to still target Israel, who overnight bombed an airport in Yemen after a Houthi strike near Tel Aviv.
And Gabe Gutierrez joins us now from the White House. Gabe, we're just getting some new details about a meeting between American and Chinese officials. Talk to us about that. What more do we know?
Yeah, Allison, you just heard in the piece that President Trump told me that there had been no meetings on tariffs between the U.S. and China. Well, we're just learning really within the past few moments that the U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer will travel to Geneva, Switzerland later this week to meet with staff at the World Trade Organization and his counterpart from the People's Republic of China. That would be the first such meeting since these tariffs were announced, Els.
NBC's Gabe Gutierrez with some breaking news there from the White House. Thank you. We appreciate it. New evidence tonight in the Karen Reed retrial. The Massachusetts woman accused of hitting her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe, with her SUV and then leaving him to die outside in the snow. She has pleaded not guilty. Her first trial, you'll remember, ended with a hung jury. Multiple state troopers taking the stand today as prosecutors shared dozens of voicemails, missed calls, and even text messages from Reed to O'Keefe on the night he died. From roughly 12:30 a.m. until 6 a.m., records show Karen Reed called her boyfriend 44 times and left 8 voicemails. Here's some of those messages.
John, I'm here with your kids. Nobody knows what the you want, pervert. Yeah, it's 1 in the morning. I'm with your niece and nephew. You pervert. You're pervert.
NBC legal analyst Danny Savalos joins us now to help break all of this down. Danny, since we're already talking about those voicemails, I want to play another voicemail, or a little more of these voicemails that were shown, or played rather, in court, and then you and I will talk right after. Let's listen.
John, I'm going home. I cannot babysit your niece. I need to go home. You are using me right now. You're another girl. Kim's sleeping next to me. You're a loser. Yourself.
I mean, it's obvious she's mad, right? She has never denied that they had a contentious relationship, but she and his attorneys will say, hey, look, just because you were in a dispute and you were mad doesn't mean she intentionally killed him. Why are these calls important?
Yeah, they're very important. And look, the prosecution knows exactly what they're doing. Do these calls prove that she killed her boyfriend? No. But you know what? They're going to alienate her with the jury. The jury's going to like her less. They're going to see her as crazy. And don't forget, prosecution's also going to introduce evidence that while she was leaving these voicemails being insanely jealous, you know what she was also doing? She was text messaging one of John's friends, an ATF agent, a guy named Higgins, who was actually at that party. That evidence is going to come in. So on the one hand, they're going to see and hear that she's completely paranoid that he's with some other woman. Meanwhile, she's creeping around, allegedly, texting one of his colleagues, an ATF agent. That's coming up. That's the testimony we heard in the first trial. And we heard graphic, super uncomfortable, super awkward testimony of their back and forth text message conversation where she reveals that she's into some other guy.
So you don't think that last bit when she's saying, where are you, John? Her team can't successfully point to that, or it might be difficult to, from a legal perspective, to say, look, she was saying, where are you? And was paranoid. Sure, she's paranoid and crazy, but she was asking, where are you? Because she had nothing to do with what happened to him.
Sure. As with a lot of evidence in this trial, there's something for both sides in every piece. And you're exactly right. The defense will probably take this same information in closing and say, look, she was panicked. She was looking for him. She was freaking out. Did she behave in a proper manner? No, but that is genuine panic about where John is. She does not know that he is lying and dying in the front lawn of the house that she just left. So you're right. There may be something in there for the defense, but make no mistake about it. It does not paint her in a very good light.
And then there's the question of the broken taillights. That is evidence some have said is harder for the defense to push back on. What do you make of it? Why is that important?
Look, the defense's whole theory is that at 2 in the morning, something happens and John O'Keefe dies, and a bunch of drunks at 2 in the morning, their wives, the cops, find Karen Reed's broken taillight and sprinkle pieces of it on the crime scene. It's an interesting theory. Some people have bought it completely. My wife is one of those people. This is something we argue about every night. I just think it's a little bit of a stretch as a conspiracy goes, but is it enough for reasonable doubt? Maybe.
All right, a lot to watch with this trial. Danny Savalos, as always, thank you. We appreciate it. We're back in a moment with the gatecrasher at Jennifer Aniston's home. The man detained in Los Angeles, what his social media reveals about his interest in the actress. Plus, Lester Holt in Rome, taking us inside the Sistine Chapel with the Conclave to pick a new pope now just hours away. And the road rage incident caught on camera. How police tracked down the driver of that minivan. We're back now, and police in Los Angeles announcing new details about the man arrested in that security incident at Jennifer Aniston's home. That includes information from what appears to be the suspect's social media posts. NBC's Liz Kreutz has this report.
Tonight, authorities announcing new details about the man they say rammed his car into the gate of Jennifer Aniston's Bel Air mansion. 48-year-old Jimmy Wayne Carwile of Mississippi arrested on suspicion of felony vandalism. According to LAPD, the frightening incident happened just after noon Monday while the Friends actress was inside her home.
Security has the suspect at gunpoint.
Aniston's private security jumped into action, detaining the man outside the property before LAPD officers arrived.
Is on the ground out of the vehicle. The suspect that drove the vehicle through the front gate.
Carwile's motive not immediately clear. However, he has made several posts on Facebook referencing Aniston, including referring to her as his bride and writing that there is corruption going on to keep him from her.
Right in front of you, Jennifer.
This not the first time Aniston has dealt with a security scare. In 2005, while Aniston was out of town, a man took a taxi to her rented Malibu home, climbed over a fence, and broke into the property. He was then confronted by Aniston's employees. The actress also obtained a restraining order against a suspected stalker who in 2010 was prowling around areas in L.A. he thought she frequented while carrying a sharp object, duct tape, and love letters addressed to Aniston. The A-list star has reportedly lived in her $21 million mid-century modern mansion since 2012, telling Glamour magazine her home is her safe space.
And Liz Kreutz joins us now from Los Angeles. Liz, what else do we know about that suspect's social media post, and have we heard anything from Jennifer Aniston?
Yeah, well, the Facebook post of this man, it appears that he has posted a lot about Jennifer Aniston over the past year, including a post that even is a screenshot of an article about her Bel Air mansion where he writes, I have Google Earth too. And then another post where he posts a screenshot of a Google Earth image of her home. So obviously it appears that he has some interest in Jennifer Aniston. As for Jennifer Aniston, she has not commented on this. Neither have any representatives for her. Thankfully, authorities say she is okay. That suspect is being held without bail, Ellison.
Liz Kreutz in L.A., thank you. When Top Story returns, the man accused of trying to kidnap a child at a Walmart free on bond today. What the video from inside the store reveals about what his attorney says really happened. Plus, deadly bear attack in Florida, the first in that state ever. How wildlife officials are tracking down the bear. We're back with Top Story's news feed. In the last hour, people in Florida evacuated from a condo in Clearwater. City officials saying there is concern about cracks found in a pillar underneath the building located just west of Tampa. There's been a large police and fire presence as crews work to get everyone out. Crews will now be checking the structural integrity of the building. This comes nearly 4 years after the Surfside condo collapse near Miami, where 98 people died. 3 men rescued after their boat capsized off the coast of Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Some Good Samaritans finding the men on top of the boat late Monday night. They say only one of them was wearing a life jacket. The rescue boat began drifting away while one man was still sitting on the overturned boat, but eventually everyone was pulled from the water. A fire rescue boat then taking the men to land. It's unclear how that boat initially overturned. And there will be no chance at a Triple Crown winner this year. That's because the trainer for Kentucky Derby winner Sovereignty says the horse will not take part in the Preakness Stakes. This marks the 4th time since 2018 that a Triple Crown, meaning wins of the Kentucky Derby, Preakness Stakes, and Belmont Stakes, will not be possible. The Preakness Stakes is taking place on May 17th. And for the 3rd straight year, Utah named the #1 state in the country, according to U.S. News and World Report. Utah was determined the clear winner by looking at categories like education, the economy, and crime. Rounding out the top 5 states, New Hampshire, Idaho, Minnesota, and Nebraska. We head to the Vatican now, where we are just hours away from the start of the conclave, the highly secretive process of picking the next pope. NBC's Lester Holt is there at St. Peter's Square with an inside look at what to expect.
Inside the Sistine Chapel, beneath Michelangelo's famed frescoes, now sit long rows of tables and chairs for the 133 cardinal electors who will choose the next pope. Today, cardinals boarding buses and heading to the Vatican residences, where they'll stay during the conclave, and meeting one last time before the cloak of secrecy falls.
Prayer is what we need.
They certainly have been talking a lot about continuity.
Father Dave Dwyer hosts the Busted Halo show on Sirius XM Radio.
There's so much palpable excitement, tension in the air.
He says these pre-conclave discussions are critical.
What they're doing in these days is the thing that they won't be able to do once they're inside the Sistine Chapel. Once they're in the chapel, they're really only voting. So in these...
There's no speeches. There's no speeches. Talking about philosophies.
That's what they're doing now.
The cardinals will take an oath of secrecy tomorrow. Then they will be sealed off from the outside world. They will hand over their phones and will stay together, eat together, until a new pope is picked. Even the Vatican staff has taken a vow of secrecy. During voting, their ballots will be burned in the 2 stoves inside the Sistine Chapel.
The first vote is expected tomorrow afternoon. If there is no agreement, we'll look for black smoke to come out of that chimney. When a pope is elected, we will see white smoke, and we will also likely see this square erupt in wild celebration.
Today, the fisherman's ring worn by Pope Francis was officially defaced, while the vestments that will be worn by his successor now stand ready, prepared in 3 sizes for whoever is chosen as the next pope.
The Pope makes a big difference in Catholic life. You know, he sets the tone. And so a lot of people are a little nervously wondering what's coming next.
Our thanks to Lester Holt. And New York's police commissioner says a manhunt is underway for teen members of a Venezuelan gang after NYPD officers were attacked in Times Square. Surveillance video showing nearly a dozen suspects appearing to pelt officers with bottles, umbrellas, and even a scooter as a high-profile boxing match unfolded just a few blocks away. NBC New York's Mark Santia is following this one.
Take a good look at these photos. Police say they're gang members wanted for attacking NYPD officers in Times Square. Surveillance video obtained by News 4 shows a group of teens whipping a basketball, scooter, umbrella, and bottles at 2 police officers who tried to stop them from attacking a mom and child near 42nd and 8th.
When someone openly assaults a police officer, you are attacking our symbol of safety, and it cannot be tolerated.
Mayor Adams and Police Commissioner Tisch disgusted by what unfolded on Friday night, where an outdoor boxing match was getting underway.
This was a targeted attack, planned, deliberate, and carried out with intent. And it will not be tolerated.
Police say the group is an extension of Tren de Aragua, a transnational gang linked to more than 20 robberies in Central Park, Times Square, and in the subway system.
Make no mistake, this is not low-level crime. It's organized violence carried out by gang members that we've already taken off the streets for preying on New Yorkers.
Law enforcement sources tell News 4 37 gang members have been arrested more than 240 times, and because they're juveniles, they end up right back out on the street.
It's not a fluke. It's a system failure. It's what happens when repeat offenders are allowed to cycle through arrest after arrest.
Criminality has to have consequence, right? And if it doesn't, it actually encourages more criminality.
NYPD Assistant Chief Jason Savino pointing out some of the group is seen here celebrating while under arrest for the most recent Times Square attack on cops.
Those individuals, instead of showing remorse while they're cuffed in jail, decide to take a selfie throwing up gang signs.
While the ages of those suspected in the cops' attack range from 12 to 18 years old, the mayor says,
people who prey on innocent people must be held accountable. They must be brought to justice.
NBC's Mark Santia, thank you. A major update tonight to a case we first brought you here on Top Story. A Georgia man accused of trying to kidnap a child inside a Walmart is now free on bond. NBC News has obtained videos of the alleged incident that his lawyer says paints a very different picture of what happened. We'll talk to her in just a moment, but first, NBC's Priya Sridhar on today's hearing and the prosecutor not backing down.
Tonight, hundreds of supporters celebrated as a judge granted bond for 57-year-old Mahendra Patel, released after spending 47 days in jail.
It was a shocker. In fact, I didn't even realize why they were arresting me in the first place.
Patel is charged with attempted kidnapping of a minor, assault and battery, after Caroline Miller says he attempted to snatch her son at a Walmart outside of Atlanta on March 18th. But new surveillance video has put the entire incident in question. The 9 hours of footage provided to NBC News by Patel's attorney shows Miller on a mobility scooter with her 2 kids when a man approached. According to the police report, Miller says Patel asked her where the Tylenol was. Patel's lawyer says that as Miller stands to point to the Tylenol section, her 2-year-old son slips from her lap. His attorney saying Patel tried to stabilize the toddler, but Miller alleged something different.
I had to rip my baby out of some other man's hands because he was trying to snatch him.
Miller has not responded to NBC News' request for comment. The video then shows Patel walking off, his attorney pointing out he's later seen approaching Miller to show her that he had found the Tylenol as Miller appears to give him a thumbs up.
At the tail end of his interview, he said that he wanted to apologize to her for what he had done.
But the district attorney's office had a different take.
This defendant reached down and grabbed a 2-year-old child from the lap of a woman in a Walmart at 8:30 at night and attempted to pull that child from her lap.
The prosecution also pointing to Patel's criminal history, convictions in 2013 for felony conspiracy to accept bribes, and more recently for reckless driving, along with an alleged DUI case still pending. The judge deciding that Patel was not a threat to the community.
I think this is the first step in the right direction.
And Priya joins us now from Marietta, Georgia. Priya, what else did Mr. Patel have to say after he left court today?
Yeah, Allison, you know, it was kind of interesting because you would think that someone who believed that they were wrongfully arrested would have some sense of anger or bitterness. But the feeling overwhelmingly that he exuded was that of gratitude towards both his family, also his defense attorney and her team, and also the overwhelming amount of support that he's received from people around the world. As I mentioned, there were hundreds of people there at the courthouse today, and 47,000 people have signed a change.org petition demanding for his release and justice. Now, I did ask him if he believes that race was a factor in this case, and he said that that was a sensitive topic. I also said how he felt about Caroline Miller making those accusations, and he said he has no idea why she would say those things, but more immediately said he was excited to go home, take a shower, eat some home-cooked food, and then in the future, of course, clear his name. Ellison?
Priya Sridhar, thank you. I want to bring in Ashley Merchant. She is the attorney for Mahendra Patel. Ashley, thank you so much for joining Top Story tonight. I want to start with the hearing. What was Mr. Patel's reaction to being granted bond and ultimately leaving jail today?
Oh my gosh, he was just so happy. You know, he hadn't hugged his daughter or his wife or any family members in 6 weeks. So he was just really happy to be out, you know, and I didn't realize that when he was arrested, it was winter. And I asked him, you know, do you have clothes at the jail for them to change you into? And he said, yeah, but when I was taken into custody, it was cold. It was winter. So, you know, he was in a thick sweater and, you know, sweatshirt. And it's like, you just kind of forget how long 40 some days are.
So when did you first start representing Mr. Patel? And in terms of this area, this period of time where he was behind bars seemingly without any sort of due process, is that your understanding of what had happened thus far? When did you come onto this case? And do you believe that he was held in detention without proper legal representatives?
Yeah, I mean, this is a really unique case, you know, because there's a lot of fail-safes that we have in the criminal legal system that just failed him. And so it's really disappointing because normally, you know, he would have been accurately charged if he had been charged at all, you know. And so it started with the police sort of making a mistake by taking out the charges. And then they aggravated the charges. And so he was held without bond. And then I got involved soon after he was arrested and immediately started trying to get him bond, immediately reached out. I was hired within a week, you know, less than a week. and immediately said to the DA's office, you've got this wrong. You've got this, the wrong person. This didn't happen. This crime didn't happen, and asked them to look critically at it. And they just refused to do that. And then they were quick to judgment. They rushed the case to the grand jury, presented testimony to a grand jury, didn't show the grand jury the video, didn't show them all of the evidence in the case. And, that really just resulted in Mr. Patel being held without bond for such a long period of time. The biggest issue was that the state just would not consent to a bond, which is abnormal. Normally they will agree to a bond in a case like this.
Okay. So now he is out on bond, but there still is an issue of what actually happened this day and the charges he's facing related to it. Priya Sridhar laid out your version of events in her piece there a bit. The mom, she was on a mobility scooter. She had 2 kids with her. According to the police report, Mr. Patel then asked her where the Tylenol was. You say that woman stood up to point out the Tylenol, and her 2-year-old sort of slips from her lap. Mr. Patel, you say, tried to stabilize the child. What do you mean by stabilize? Are we talking he grabbed her? Did he lift the baby up? How did this play out?
Yeah, I actually got the best sort of view of what I think happened when I talked to one of the witnesses. There's a gentleman in the video that you see in an orange shirt, and he was very close by. And how he described it to me was that the child reached out as though he was the child's father. So if you imagine a toddler, a 1 or 2-year-old toddler, they're kind of wiggly. I mean, any of us, I've got 2 kids, they're kind of wiggly, and they regularly reach out to adults. And if you look at the video and then listening to what he said, because, there's certain parts of the video that you can't see 100% clearly, but it does look like the child is sort of reaching for Mr. Patel. Mr. Patel says that he did reach back for the child. And it makes perfect sense if you have that viewpoint in your mind when you're watching it, that they sort of reached for each other. Mr. Patel went to lean in to reach for this child who, if he was actually sort of leaning towards Mr. Patel, would appear like he is falling. Mr. Patel secures him. The mom says no, sort of pulls back, and the interaction is over. And that's exactly what you would expect to happen. You would expect someone to try to catch a toddler that they thought was falling. And then if the mother doesn't want that or says, I got it, then the gentleman would back off and everybody would go along their merry way. And that is what normally would happen. It's just this has been taken out of proportion and someone has created a crime where a crime didn't happen.
So if it was the case that she said no and he left, why in the surveillance video did he later appear to kind of come back and interact with her? I know you described that moment as him saying, I found the Tylenol, but why go back to someone who has clearly set a boundary and said, no, please don't?
He actually had to walk past her to get to the checkout. And so at that point, she hadn't been, and she's admitted it wasn't a big deal. It was just like, hey, no, I don't want your help. When he had offered the help, that she didn't want the help. He actually passes her 3 different times in about a 5-minute span after this alleged interaction took place. And she doesn't say or do anything. I mean, she's laughing with another gentleman immediately thereafter, right after this happened. She's talking with another Walmart employee. And then when Mr. Patel is walking out of the store, he shows her, hey, I found the Tylenol, because she had been part of his mission to try and find that Tylenol. And she gives him a thumbs up. It means it's just a normal type of interaction that you would expect to see 2 people having when there's no crime occurring.
She told 911 in her call to dispatch that Mr. Patel tried to snatch her child. Why would she use such strong language, do you think, if this didn't occur in the way that if it occurred in the way you're saying it did?
I think that is the $1 million question. And I think, after 30 minutes, she had 30 minutes and said, oh, he tried to snatch my baby, but I got my baby back. And, that's not what happened. But I think it was taken out of context. And then I think nobody went back and looked at the videos critically, and nobody went back and talked to the witnesses critically. And it just elevated from that. But I think it's very telling that she waited 30 minutes to call.
The state says the video does not tell the entire story. They also claim that there are some witnesses who say Mr. Patel appeared intoxicated. Was he intoxicated or drinking that day?
No. And that's, they say that, but they don't actually say any witness said that. And we've talked to the witnesses and nobody mentioned that. And the people, they were face to face with Mr. Patel. And so if there was any alcohol or anything like that, they would have been able to smell it. That's not in any of the reports. That's not anything that any single person has said. So it seems as though the state made that up out of whole cloth. And there's just no evidence of that. Plus, we have a video of 11 minutes where Mr. Patel is walking around this Walmart. There are 4 different people that he talks to, 4 different employees, plus the gentleman in orange, that all talk to him. And nobody says anything was awry. So I think it's just something that seems to have been made up out of whole cloth.
Ashley Merchant, attorney for Mahindra Patel, thank you so much for taking the time to join us this evening. We will be continuing to follow this case as it moves forward. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
We're back in a moment with the extreme road rage caught on camera, how the man on the motorcycle is doing tonight, and how police caught the driver of that minivan. Plus, the real ID is really happening tomorrow. So what happens if you go to the airport without one? We're back now with the terrifying hit and run caught on camera in Oregon. A minivan swerving across a 3-lane highway, hitting a motorcyclist in what police are now calling an intentional attack. That man on the motorcycle remarkably surviving, and the suspect now in custody thanks to a critical tip. NBC's Yasmin Vasugian has this one.
A horrific hit and run caught on camera in Oregon. Dash camera video taken on a highway in Beaverton on Monday morning shows a motorcyclist in the center lane gesturing at a Kia Carnival van to his left. The van sharply swerving right, hitting the motorcyclist, sending him flying onto the shoulder before speeding off. The family of the 21-year-old victim says he was trying to communicate with the driver after a couple of close calls.
The van had almost hit him twice already. And my brother was trying to be like, well, like, do you not see me? What is happening? And then the driver made eye contact with him and jerked the wheel.
Corey's family says he suffered a concussion and bruises, showing his cracked helmet that might have saved his life.
The driver hit him so hard that my son's clutch lever went through the complete side of his steel-toe boots. That's how bad he hit him. And threw up 250 feet.
I just thought I just saw someone die in front of me.
Lucy Brissack says she witnessed the incident and stayed with Corey until help arrived.
That's someone's baby. And if my daughter were in the same position, I would want someone to step up and take care of her if I couldn't be there.
Police asking for the public's help tracking down the driver. A tip from someone who had seen the dash camera footage leading them to that Kia with scrapes at the point of impact.
We received a tip about the whereabouts of the van, and we were able to locate it right as the suspect came out and got into the van and started to drive away.
Police arresting Samir Helio Pizzotto Philo, charging him with second-degree assault, hit and run, reckless driving, attempted assault 1, and unlawful use of a weapon, according to police. Investigators say they have reason to believe Pizzotto Philo, quote, had been driving recklessly in the days prior to the incident. We were unable to reach Pizzotto Philo for comment.
I think it's really hard to watch just because it's so deliberate. Like, he literally could have died, and I don't know who could do that. Like, I just don't understand who has that within them to do that.
Yasmin Vasugian, NBC News.
To Florida now, where authorities are investigating what could be the first deadly black bear attack in that state's history. An 89-year-old man and his dog found dead in a rural community just outside of Naples. Wildlife authorities hunting and killing 3 bears in the area as they search for answers. NBC's George Solis has the latest.
For the first time in Florida's recorded history, a suspected bear attack turning deadly, prompting this response late Monday. Wildlife officers killing 3 large male bears near where the body of 89-year-old Robert Markell and his dog were found hours earlier. Those bears and DNA samples from the scene transported to the University of Florida for testing.
Out of abundance of caution, we urge residents and visitors to continue to remain vigilant around and avoid the area. Do not approach or attempt to track any wildlife in the area.
Florida Fish and Wildlife officials say the deadly encounter occurred Monday morning near the rural town of Jerome, roughly 40 miles outside Naples.
He's gone completely. His whole camper was destroyed. He's not in there. He's 89 years old.
Authorities arriving to the scene after getting these chilling 911 calls.
Oh, my God. They just found his pants, wallet, and shirt in the woods.
Officials believe the attacks did not happen at the same time. According to an incident report, the dog was found on the driveway and Markell roughly 100 yards from his trailer.
The FWC is committed here to do all we can to bring closure to the Markell family.
Wildlife expert and photographer Ron McGill says even though bear encounters have been on the rise, an attack like this one is unprecedented.
I don't want people to start thinking, oh my gosh, bears now are out to get us and we need to, go out and kill bears because we're threatened by them right away. It couldn't be further from the truth. These are important animals in our ecosystem.
FWC estimates there are more than 4,000 black bears in the state. State data shows since 2006 there have been 42 black bear encounters involving physical contact with a person, most involving the presence of a dog. Experts like McGill say the population boom of bears, coupled with the overdevelopment of their habitat, has pushed more bears into public view.
understand the privilege that we have to have them here, but at the same time realize they are wild animals. Do not approach these animals. They are not your friends, but they do belong here.
And George Solis joins us now from Miami. George, how long until we know for sure if those bears that were killed were the ones involved in this attack?
Yeah, Ellison, FWC officials tell me it could take up to 24 hours. Just got off the phone a little while ago with FWC officials saying they could have some results as early as tomorrow morning. Ellison.
George Solis, thank you. Still ahead tonight, the major change to air travel in the U.S. set to take effect in just hours. The Real ID requirement to board domestic flights and what it means if you did not get yours in time. Finally tonight, have you gotten your Real ID? Because we are just hours away from the major new rule kicking in at airports nationwide. Starting Wednesday, before you board a domestic flight, you'll need to present a Real ID or a passport or face more security checks. Now residents are running to DMVs all across the country with lines out the door to get those shiny new ID cards before that deadline. NBC correspondent Maggie Vespa is at Chicago's O'Hare to break down everything you need to know.
Tonight, the reality of Real ID hitting home coast to coast, with long lines inundating America's DMVs, some waiting up to 4 hours to make the switch before tomorrow's deadline.
I brought a chair and I brought two cell phones full of batteries. Unfortunately, this is my life today.
Beginning tomorrow, TSA will start requiring passengers boarding domestic flights show Real ID compliant driver's licenses or state IDs. In most cases, a Real ID has a gold star. In California, it's a bear. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem today saying passengers without Real IDs or other acceptable forms, including a valid passport, should allow more time.
If it's not compliant, they may be diverted to a different line. Have an extra step, but people will be allowed to fly.
Do you have your Real ID yet? No.
Congress first passed the Real ID Act in 2005 after the 9/11 Commission recommended stronger federal standards for state IDs. TSA stressing 81% of air travelers in the U.S. now have acceptable IDs. Some travelers not convinced.
I think it's going to be crazy. I think people don't understand that deadline.
And Maggie Vespa joins us now from Chicago's O'Hare International Airport. Maggie, it's striking hearing the Secretary of Homeland Security say what she said in your piece, that even if you travel and you don't have a passport or Real ID, you could still get on a plane just with a few extra steps. What actually is going on here? Are we still in some sort of grace period?
Unofficially, it seems like we might be. I mean, look, what we're hearing basically and what it seems like is that no one wants passengers to miss their flights, especially if they booked these flights a while back thinking the IDs they had on them would be sufficient. So basically, we, amid all of this and amid this confusion, especially after decades of delays, we asked DHS, who oversees TSA, what's the deal? How long will people without Real IDs be able to fly with that extra screening? I'll be real with you, Ellison. They didn't give us a direct answer. They didn't give us a timeline. We asked for one. They did give us a statement just simply saying they're going to enforce Real ID and, in their words, ensure that wait times aren't impacted, especially for those with, they say, acceptable forms of identification. So we'll see how long this lasts. Long story short, we're sure, going to make things a little easier for people in the interim. Ellison.
NBC's Maggie Vespa, thank you. And thank you so much for watching Top Story. I'm Ellison Barber in New York for Tom Llamas. Stay right there. More news is on the way.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.